Between 1986 and 1991, 10 women were brutally murdered in Hwaseong, South Korea. They were raped, strangled with items of their own clothing, stockings, blouses, or even undergarments. Their bodies dumped in fields and ditches. The youngest was just 13, the oldest, 71. It was South Korea's first known serial killer case, and for decades, it went unsolved. Over 1 million officers were involved, over 20,000 suspects investigated, but no arrest ever stuck, except one, a young factory worker with a disability. He was sentenced to life in prison, not because he was guilty, but because the police needed someone. He spent 20 years behind bars for a crime he didn't commit, while the real killer walked free. 3 decades later, the truth finally came out, and what it revealed shook an entire nation. On September 15, 1986, a 71-year-old woman named Lee Choon-jae was found murdered in a farming field on the outskirts of Hwaseong. Her body had been raped and strangled, the weapon a pair of her own stockings. She was left face down among low crops and dirt ridges, in an area surrounded by silence and farmland. The crime deeply unsettled the rural town of Hwaseong, a quiet farming community just an hour far from Seoul, the capital of South Korea. But no one imagined it would be the first in a string of similar murders. Just 1 month later, 25-year-old Park Hyun-suk was found. Same method: bound, strangled, raped. Then another woman disappeared. Then another was found. And the murders continued over the next 5 years. News reports warned women not to go out alone at night. Mothers walked their daughters to school. Local shops sold out of whistles, locks, and window bars. The victims ranged in age from just 13 to 71 years old, from middle school girls to elderly women. The common pattern: all killed at night, all found near fields, ditches, or remote paths, all strangled with their own clothing, stockings, blouses, or even undergarments. The crimes appeared random, but there was a signature. The knot, used to tie the victims, called the O-shaped knot, was consistent. The police were stunned. South Korea had never dealt with anything like this. The term serial killer was unfamiliar. There were no profilers, no behavioral experts. Investigators were working with outdated tools and zero forensic systems. Over 180,000 officers were deployed in the first year alone. More than 20,000 suspects were questioned. Police went door to door, questioning neighbors, asking if they'd seen or heard anything strange. They measured shoe sizes, compared footprints in muddy fields. They even collected handwriting samples, hoping to match them to anonymous letters that claimed to be from the killer. But in the absence of real leads, the police clung to whatever they could find. There was no DNA testing, no surveillance cameras, no national criminal database. And then, in 1988, came the case that would change everything. On September 16, 1988, the body of a 13-year-old girl named Park Sang-hee was discovered. She had disappeared on her way home from school. Her murder mirrored the others: rape, strangulation, abandonment in a field. But this time, the police believed they had found the killer, a 22-year-old factory worker named Yoon Sung-yeo. Yoon had a limp, a result of polio he developed as a child after a severe fever. His left leg was weakened, and when he walked, his body tilted slightly to the right. His mother died when he was 10. His father disappeared soon after. Yoon grew up poor, uneducated. He had no prior record, no history of violence, but he lived near the crime scene, and to the police, he seemed like someone they could pressure into confessing. Under intense police pressure, he confessed. What the public didn't know was that Yoon had been interrogated for days. For 3 or 4 nights, he wasn't allowed to sleep. Officers shouted, beat him, and when he couldn't take it anymore, he broke. "I didn't even know what I was saying," he later said. "They told me to write, so I wrote. They told me to sign, so I signed." He was sentenced to life in prison. The police declared victory. But in truth, Yoon didn't match the psychological profile. He couldn't have committed the murder. And worse, the killings didn't stop. 2 more women were murdered after Yoon was imprisoned. But the police refused to reopen the investigation. The case files were closed. The media moved on. Yoon remained behind bars for 20 years. In 2009, he was released on parole after serving 2 decades as a model inmate. He had entered prison at just 22 years old. By the time he stepped out, he was 42. The years most people spend building a life, he spent inside a cell. His sentence was never reduced. He simply waited until the system let him out. In 2019, South Korea launched a nationwide cold case initiative. A new task force was formed to re-examine unsolved crimes using modern forensic science. With advances in DNA technology, old evidence was being tested again for the first time in decades. Among the cases reopened was one long thought unsolvable: the Hwasong serial murders. Evidence from multiple crime scenes was retested using modern techniques. And then there was a breakthrough. A DNA match on items from several of the murders. The DNA belonged to a man already in prison. His name? Lee Choon-jae. His crime? In 1994, he lured his own sister-in-law to his home. There, he raped her and murdered her in cold blood. Then calmly hid her body in the bathroom. It was his wife who found her. That crime sent him to prison. When asked why he killed her, he said, "I thought she might tell someone, so I killed her." And then, he added, "I just wanted to try it." No remorse, no fear, just terrifying indifference. A textbook sign of a psychopathic mind. But no one imagined that he had killed before. Lee was brought in for questioning. He didn't hesitate. He admitted everything, calmly. No remorse, no excuses. He confessed to Hwasong murders, one by one. He recalled details only the killer would know. The knots, like the unique O-shaped loop found in multiple cases. The positions of the bodies, how some were laid face down, others with their hands tied behind their backs. The items taken, small, intimate things, a hairpin, a piece of underwear, a watch. Things the public had never been told. He even admitted to other crimes no one had known about: sexual assaults, attempted murders. In total, he confessed to 14 murders and 30 rapes, including the one Yoon Sung-yeo was serving time for. The 8th victim, from a case in 1988, was his. The nation was stunned. A man had confessed to Korea's most haunting unsolved murders, a case that had remained unsolved for over 30 years, and in doing so, exposed one of the country's biggest miscarriages of justice. In 2020, Yoon Sung-yeo was granted a retrial. For the first time in decades, he stood before a court, this time as the victim. The retrial exposed deep cracks in Korea's justice system. Police officers had fabricated evidence, forging documents, altering timelines, and ignoring physical limitations that made Yoon an unlikely suspect. They pressured a disabled man into confessing and never reopened the case, even after more murders occurred. In December 2020, Yoon was officially acquitted. The court apologized. In front of the nation, the judge said, "On behalf of the judiciary, I offer my deepest apologies." The prosecution bowed, but it was too late. 20 years were gone. Yoon received compensation, but he said, "Money can't give me back my life." Yoon had spent the prime of his life in a cell for a crime he did not commit. The officers involved were never held criminally accountable. Some retired. Others moved on to new positions. Only one man remained behind bars: Lee Choon-jae. When asked why he did it, he said, without emotion, "I didn't feel anything. It just happened. No remorse. No reasoning. Just the cold indifference of a man who killed because he could." 10 women were killed. 1 man was framed. And a nation woke up to a truth more terrifying than fiction. Yoon Sung-yeo spent 20 years behind bars. He was poor. He was disabled. But he survived. Today, he works in a small factory, lives in a modest apartment, and helps support scholarships for students with difficult lives, just like his once was. He said, "The money can't give me back my life, but if I can stand on my own, that's enough." The Hwasong murders aren't just a cold case. They are a case study in how institutions can break down, and how justice, when delayed, is justice denied. What do you think? Share your thoughts below. Thank you for watching Eastern Noir. Subscribe for more true crime stories from the East.